Good morning to you, our viewers right here on CBC TV. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday morning. Indeed, it's a special day, and I just pray and hope that you are somewhere listening to this inspiring show. My name is George Sompola, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Martin Lutona is my name here. Good to see you there watching. How is your morning? Good morning, Pastor Joe.
Good morning to you.
Wonderful, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And today we're having an interesting topic, and the topic is loving your neighbor. And some may think, oh, this is a topic we've heard time and time again. Why are you repeating it? But it's a vital topic in today's world where we meet so many people, we bump into so many people, and people come from different backgrounds, people come from different places, different upbringings, and different mindsets, but we still bump into them, and we still can't run away from interacting with different people. So discussing the topic of loving thy neighbor, Mr. Martin, what's your take on this topic?
On loving the neighbor, Jesus talks about the neighbor, someone who is who you see is somebody who is close to you, and it says in Matthew 22 verses 37 to 38, he says the first commandment, this is the command, the sum of all the commandments, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. And then the second one is that love your neighbor as yourself. So Jesus actually is talking about how it is that you can love your neighbor the way you love yourself. So my interpretation is before I love my neighbor, I need to love myself. So if I don't love myself, then I can't love my neighbor. So the neighbor is a person who lives close by you, the next door person, like just here where we are, I'm your neighbor, you are my neighbor. So the immediate person in contact with you, that is your neighbor. But it gets difficult because as of now, you find that in Africa we've tended to neglect our neighbors, and then we want to behave. We want to be individualistic, like it is in the West, and where people want to be by themselves, and what my neighbor is going through is none of my business. It doesn't affect me, so I want to live by my own lifestyle, my own doings, my own values. It's all by myself, and my neighbors, what they are going through is theirs alone. So it's quite difficult, as we see that people can love their neighbor, but in the fact that the Bible does commend, and also we find it's Christians who even don't love their neighbor. And so the question is, why wouldn't a Christian love their neighbor? If the Bible is saying, you shall love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. So if someone is going to love their neighbor, they love themselves. Yeah, I don't know what your take is on that. Yeah, but that's what I think.
Wonderful. Well, my take on loving your neighbor is also, like you rightly say, someone, the next door neighbor, but also it means anyone in the street, anyone you find in the street, anyone who's not even related to you, doesn't even stay close to you, but then you interact with them in one way or another, or maybe you haven't even interacted with them, but then you meet with them, you see them in the neighborhood, you see them maybe from time to time, maybe you've never even said hello to them, but then they are just someone you also need to be concerned about. And I like the point that you raised of us becoming individualistic in this so-called modern era, because I think modernization has played a part in us being individualistic, because it's mostly me, myself, and I, my business, and especially in a fast-paced city like Lusaka, because we've got a lot of things to do. We are always running up and down, chasing the next thing. Oh, there's a business deal, I need to speak at this engagement, and we get so busy and so self-absorbed. Of course, we are not encouraging laziness, but then we also need to show concern for one another. And we've heard this phrase, love, you love your neighbor as yourself. I think it also talks about showing concern. But where do you think we went wrong in terms of us being so individualistic today with modernization? Did it start in the 70s or 80s or 90s when people became so individualistic? Here in Zambia, especially.
Yeah, so Pastor Joe, that is a good question. Individualism actually began in the 90s when, because before that, you discover that when Zambia was a one-party state, there wasn't so much exposure, and actually the internet thing and the modernization was more pronounced when the country or a nation moved from a one-party state to a multi-party. So you discover that there was like an opening to the globe. Zambia by that time, if there was a person that had a vehicle in the community, maybe there would be one or two, you know. And then if I remember growing up as a child, if we had to watch TV, it would take distance for you to go and catch up, find where TV is. And then when you are watching, of course, you won't be comfortable because either you're watching through the window, and sometimes would go to a university and, you know, go and watch soccer if there was anything interesting. So until such a time when multi-party democracy started in Zambia, then Dr. Chiluba just opened up the commerce in Zambia, that things now, there was a free trade, and then joining the commerce, and so there was things just opened up. You know, people started owning. You found a TV anywhere. You found a mobile phone everywhere. Computers were everywhere, and so it just, even in our compounds, we started seeing those things, and cars, people started buying vehicles, and so that's how now Zambia opened up. And so with that, the openings, and if there was a channel that we watched, there was only ZNBC. You would watch only this channel, and ZNBC had this editorial policy that you can't see certain things. So they model people how they should dress, how they. So the modeling that was happening on, like we spoke the other day, talking about ZNBC inculcating value in people's lives, and so there was that decency until such a time when there was a multi-party democracy, and things were opened up, TV stations, private ones, and private radio stations, and everything, and the gadgets. People are watching on their phone. They're exposed to different kind of things. You'll find a young boy or young girl on the phone. You wonder what are they watching. Some of them are watching pornography. They're watching this stuff that is just thrown on them. Maybe it's TikTok and whatnot. So that now comes into a fact. Have you been on a minibus and then you are seated with 3-4 people on your side, and you don't talk to anybody? Either they are in their headsets, or they are busy on the phone, and they are strangers like altogether. Yeah, but in those days, if you were on a minibus, some people would greet almost everyone on the bus. You don't know them; they are not your relatives, and as soon as you are getting on the bus, you say hi, 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 everyone. You greet them, then you go and sit. But these days, it's each one for himself. You'll be in a supermarket, you get your things, and sometimes you see even someone you know they are there, and then you go the other way, and you know, that kind of a thing. So people have developed this tendency to say, it's me and not anybody else. So that is, in other words, selfishness. We become selfish instead of wanting to be with the other people. And also families, again, have fallen into that trap where family members now will segregate themselves. Those with money, they have their own committee, WhatsApp group. For those with poor standards, the poor ones, they have their own WhatsApp group. So things are happening in families where people have become so disengaged that they can't inform their neighbor or their brother or sister who doesn't have money that there's a funeral or there's this. Because you'll be a problem if you go to that funeral. They have to provide your transport, they have to feed you, they have to send you back. So you find someone is struggling, they are not regarded. So that is individualistic that has come up, and then we've stopped loving our neighbor because of that. Yeah,
Yes,
so that's my take.
Wonderful, wonderful take. Indeed, modernization has contributed to us being individualistic. Of course, modernization has its benefits. It has, of course, helped us to some extent, at least have more knowledge, more information. But then the downside has been that we've become too individualistic. We're always on our phones. Like you mentioned, you're seated in a bus. Someone is just busy scrolling. Someone has headsets. Maybe they're watching a movie or some Netflix show, and the other person is just doing something else. And like you said, in those days, sometimes people would greet each other in the bus, and they would say, "Oh, how are you?" They would greet, and people would feel that sense of belonging, that sense of community. And back to those days, I remember, I think early 90s, 94, 95, ZMBC used to open at 17 hours, and you would look forward to, like for me when I was a little boy, I would look forward to watching the Smurfs, DuckTales, and some of those cartoons which used to play at 17 hours. But now there's a proliferation of channels. You find, of course, there's DSTV and multi-choice. I think is it in 94 somewhere there? And now we have of course, DSTV, and there's a variety of channels. So again, young people also learn different things. They watch different channels and see different things, and of course, mannerisms are copied, of course, from the Western culture, and we tend to keep to ourselves. Because even like greeting someone in Lusaka, like say a high-class area like Mainwood or Kablonga, Ibex Mainwood, Kablonga, Long Acres, and sometimes, especially in these posh areas, you'd say hello to someone, and it's like, why are you saying hello to me? Sometimes they won't say it directly, but then they'll give you this funny look. They're like,
well, who are you?
Who are you? Why are you greeting me? Why can't you just mind your own business? And so that has again caused other people to think, if I say hello, especially in this posh area, they'll be like, it's like I'm invading that space. I'm being invasive. So again, we are also forced to keep to ourselves and think, if I greet, I'm poking my nose into that person's business, and it also desensitizes people. That's what I feel. People get desensitized, and you rightly mentioned, if someone has a funeral, to be, that one has a funeral, and you continue with your business, and sometimes you won't even send condolences to that person, even sending an SMS or a WhatsApp. My condolences, you lost your dad, you lost your mom, or you lost your brother or sister or grandma. And unfortunately, we become so desensitized. Even when someone passes away, you're like, they've gone, that's their problem, they've died, life goes on. And that's really sad, especially for our Zambian culture, and indeed even African culture, because by nature we are just communal people. We believe in community, we believe in family, we believe in oneness, but unfortunately we are also becoming desensitized. We don't care anymore about the person next to us. We think it's me, myself, and I. That's my business. That's that person's business. That's their problem. Let them just... Life goes on, life carries on. That's it. For me, I'm doing my own thing. Let me think of what I can do in life. So we need to look into desensitization. It's really sad, because sometimes even in a posh area like Ibex, Mainwood, or Kablonga, or Long Acres, you find maybe someone has a funeral next door, but a Chilanga Mulilo continues, and the other person is celebrating, the other person has a funeral. So desensitization, unfortunately, is also here in Zambia, where we are no longer concerned about our brother and sister, but we need to be sensitized. We need to be sensitive to other people's feelings. We need to have empathy, where we put ourselves in that person's shoes, and we just say, how would I feel if I was in that person's shoes? How would I feel if I lost my brother or sister or father? and I empathize with that person. I feel for that person and I feel their pain. So we need to be sensitized to each other's problems, and we need to step in. We need to stop with the desensitization where we are just in our own worlds. We need to get back to genuine community. Of course, not to live off each other and take advantage of each other, but to be concerned about our brothers and sisters.
Indeed, to be concerned about those that live close to us, and those are our neighbors. If the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, it means then you are loving the next person in the same way that you love yourself. We'll take a break. On the other side, we'll continue discussing how you love your neighbor. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Teen Diaries.
Yeah, today let's get loud about something. About bullying. We deal with this on social media, in schools, and in our workplaces.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever.
Could you share your story in a circumstance where you will find yourself being bullied?
I was able to respond. I mean, you don't have to agree. Someone talks to you like, hey, you're too skinny, you're too fat. You don't need to agree with that situation.
So did you ever reach out to any of the supervisors in school, your principal? Did you ever reach out to anyone?
After like 1.5 years of doing that, my friend was like, this is too much, just stand your ground, tell them off.
It's like, don't always listen to what people say, because some people are just always so negative. Like, look at yourself, you're beautiful in the mirror. And I always used to go to my mirror and tell myself, no, I'm beautiful.
Teen Diaries, my heart unfolds, pages of fire, eating gold, laughing, crying, stars I hold. Teen Diaries, my soul is told.
Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity, empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams, it's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place.
Still watching CBC Breakfast Show with me, Martin Lutuna, and before that, we were discussing how you love your neighbor, and so that is what we are emphasizing today on how you love your neighbor. And now we discover that the Electoral Commission of Zambia has issued a call that voter registration be extended up until 31st of November. Yes, so we want to see our best to talk about how someone can get to register as a voter. How old should they be? What things are needed? What is there for everyone that should be able to register to vote? Joining me on set is Mr. Valentine Kamfuli, talking about a child or somebody who qualifies to register. Good morning, Mr. Kamfuli.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, thank you. It's good to have you with us. First of all, what's your take on loving your neighbor? Who is somebody's neighbor?
A neighbor is any person you come in contact with. Yeah, that person is regarded as your neighbor. Sure.
Yeah. Any person in contact with you, and that person is regarded as your neighbor.
Yes.
So usually you understand, like the person, the people that live next door to you, and that's how we've perceived it, that those are our neighbors. But if I'm just on the street, I meet a stranger, are they my neighbor?
Yes.
That
person automatically becomes your neighbor.
Okay, that's right. How about registration? At what age is somebody qualified to register to vote?
Is it not 18?
It's 18, yes. Okay, at 18 somebody is qualified. At least at that time, the Zambian law, it indicates that somebody was qualified. They can even get a driver's license at that age. And have you voted before?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do when you went to register to vote? What things were asked?
My NRC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
My NRC. Yeah.
You have your NRC, and
Yes.
then you go register to vote, as it were.
Yes.
And next year, Zambia will be going to the polls. So
Yes.
the government has issued a statement that a voter registration be extended. And so we're looking at why is it important that somebody should register to vote? From where you stand, what is why should people register to vote?
So as a good citizen, it's part of the characteristics of a good citizen, and voting gives you a voice. Voting gives you a voice. Whenever you cast your vote, however you cast your vote, whoever you vote for, that gives you a vote. That gives you a voice of what you are talking about, or what you want to say, or what you want to communicate to the country or to the world, to say this is the person that we need. This is the person I am looking forward to. Sure.
Okay, so voting is somebody's voice.
Yes.
Your voice by voting, by casting your vote, then you speak, of which we vote for members of parliament to speak for us.
Yes.
as constituencies. But then, so as they go to speak on behalf of ourselves, then that is the voice we use, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you voted for someone, you vote for the president, you vote for the members of parliament, councillor, ward chairman or something, all those that you vote for, they are your voice. So they are like your ambassadors, isn't it?
Exactly, because so for example, I can't say the whole community can go to parliament. We can't go as the entire community. That's why we have representatives. So when we vote people into power, for example, members of parliament, council chairpersons or mayors, councillors, those people are speaking for the people. So when you talk of councillors, they are speaking for the people in a smaller community. And then there goes an MP who is speaking to the people, who is speaking for the people at a much larger community. And then we have the council chairperson or the mayor who speaks for the whole town. So there are ways in which they communicate issues that people are facing in the community. So the way a councillor
who identify the challenges that the community is facing. It's different from the way an MP or a mayor is going to identify the problems that are facing the community. So that's why I would say it is very, very important. And for the MPs, councillors to be in good terms. We cannot afford as a community to have councillors who are not in good terms with MPs. So because councillors, they have a level at which they represent the community, and then we have MPs who are in the legislative part of the government, where they are able to make laws and all those stuff. They are able to help the people. So we cannot, as a community, we cannot afford to have these people in conflict. So we need to make sure, even as a community, if your councillor is not in good terms with your MP or mayor, you need to make sure that those people are in good terms, because if there is a gap in between them, then development is affected in the community. Yes.
And do Christians vote?
Of course they do.
They do vote.
Yes, they
why is it important for Christians to vote?
Because that question is quite sensitive. So I'm looking for ways in which I can respond to it. So Christians, these are the people who are praying. These are the people who are seeing the good values that needs to be inculcated or sent into our community. If in an event whereby we have ungodly people ruling, this is where we are going to have people trying to push the rainbow agenda. They'll start pushing the rainbow agenda. Why? Because they don't value the morals of the Christian morals. So when we have Christians pushing the agenda, whereby even when voting, they'll vote for a person who is sober, a person who trusts in God, a person who's going to push the agenda of God, not a person who's going to push other agendas, a person who's going to bring certain things into play that conflicts. When you talk of Zambia, Zambia is a Christian nation. So we cannot afford to have people that are going to conflict with the values of Zambia, because we stand on the Bible. I remember when Michael Chilufya Sata was elected into power, he said, we are going to rule this country using the 10 Commandments. I'll stand on the word of God. I'll stand on the Bible. So we cannot afford to have people who are going to push people that don't believe in God, people that sidelines God in their decisions, people that are going to put their interests above the word of God. So I would advise Christians out there to take part in the electoral process, make sure they vote, because they know and they understand to say, if we vote, we are voting a person who is sober, a person who's going to continue upholding the Christian values. I remember a few days ago, I don't know if it is confirmed or what, I saw something on social media where they were saying that in a certain country, Christians are being starved to death by a certain religion. Christians are being starved to death. They are refusing to give them food or to sell them food. You understand? If people who believe in God or in whatever deity they believe, how would you prefer other people to suffer because they don't believe in what you believe in? So we need people. We need to put people into power. People that appreciate God, people that are going to spread the love of God, because being at that position, it doesn't give you power to inflict pain on others, but you use that position to spread the love of God.
That's right. Actually, Romans 13 says, pray for those in authority, pray for the government. Those people are appointed by God. So God is the one that chooses leaders, and so at whatever level leader is, God is the one that has appointed them. So when you pray for them, we are asked as Christians to pray for peace, like you mentioned, so that we may live good lives. Good lives are coming because the Christians won't be tormented by the other religions because you don't believe in what they believe. So that is more so of importance, like you mentioned, where if we should participate in the electoral process, then it will help us then have leaders that fear God and all that. Do you believe that the leaders in government are sent by God? Is that part of your belief, that really those people are from the church?
Like you said, from the Bible or the scripture that you've just talked about, I think there's also which says that all leadership is appointed by God.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's that scripture. So whosoever is in authority, this person could be evil, this person could be a good person. For them to be at that position, God has allowed it. Yes.
So God appoints them.
Yes.
And as a Christian nation, there are people that are representing the church. So they are ambassadors of God, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So why do people think that maybe politicians are evil, or they don't want to relate with them? Why are they feared by people and they shun them or something? Why is it that, you think?
I would say sometimes it is the precedence that has been set by people that are coming from from behind us.
Yeah.
So sometimes you find. I'll just give an example of Facebook.
Yeah.
The time Facebook was coming into play, a lot of people used to criticize it. Used to criticize it. No, Facebook is bad. Facebook is bad. Facebook is evil. Facebook is evil. But we have come to learn that Facebook, we can even use it to our advantage. We can use it to preach the gospel. We can use it. We can use it to reach out to the unreachable. So I cannot say. I'm not going to use the statement which is normally used to say politics is a dirty game. You know, sometimes, it is that in that ground there are different players who are in there. So we have people who don't believe in God. We have people that are atheists. We have people of other beliefs that maybe resort to violence for them to solve their issues. And then we have some Christians. So for just us to just strike a balance, I cannot call it a bad thing, because it is a channel that we can use even to influence a generation that is to come. Because if one thing I would say is, as Christians, let's push the agenda of putting or voting for Christians into positions of influence, because that is going to help push the agenda of God, push people to so that sanity can be restored in the circle of politics.
Yes, so that's why it's important that Christians register to vote. So if you have registered to vote, then you help smoothen the electoral process. That is what ECZ is asking for, that you register to vote, and then by so doing, your voice counts, because we speak through the leaders that we send to Parliament and in all circles. They are God sent. So, and then as they are sent, they speak on behalf of the people. And so people now should be able to nod and say, yes, what that man or woman is saying is what we want. And so they represent us right there. Yes. What are you doing about how is the oldest child at Christ Life School? Do you know? Are they 18 years or are they just less? No one is above that.
I think we have one or two.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have one or two
that have reached 18.
Yes.
Okay, so they'll be voting. Sure. And do teachers sensitize their children how to vote and whatnot?
Yeah.
Or that is in what subject is that?
That is in civic education.
Civic education. Yes. Okay. So they learn. They know
yes,
these things.
Otherwise, that topic has been done already. Yeah. So the children understand the electoral process and everything that is happening, every stage of the electoral process, they understand it.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. Okay. Then there is you have a sexual education as well in your curriculum as a school?
Yes, we do that.
Okay, okay. Is that compared to where we're coming from? How do you think that subject sinks in with the current situation of children on social media, and then they have to learn that? What is your take?
So when it comes to that,
For better, for worse.
yes, when it comes to that, it is something that we cannot run away from. Yeah, looking at the society and the things that are happening in society, we have a lot of people that are misleading children. Yeah, we have in some countries you find that. I remember I once saw a certain clip of a mother who found a teacher teaching children something else. Yeah, something else that that they were not supposed to learn. So the mother reacted, and she was very furious, and she took the child out of her class, out of that class.
No.
So children are watching a lot of things. Yeah, and this is something I would love to talk to the parents out there. Please limit the children the screen time. Limit what the children are watching. Make sure you monitor what the children are watching. You see, there are certain messages that are being embedded even in the innocent cartoons that we see. There are messages that are that are being embedded in such videos, such that they are just being planted in the subconscious of a child. They're just being planted in the subconscious mind of a child, and then by the time you realize it, you find the child has lost way. You find your child start acting funny. No, I don't address me as he. Address me as them. Address me as they. The child has gone astray. So it is very, very important, even in schools, to emphasize on the morals, on how the children are supposed to behave. If you are a boy, you need to be a boy. If you are a girl, you need to be a girl. And it is one thing that we as a school are doing, and we have seen it working. Children are becoming aware of the environment, because even in our school, you find that the child, even from reception class, grade 1 class, even if they're going to the toilet, if anything that is just looks a bit out of ordinary, or something that they just don't feel like it is normal, even if it just happened or by accident or just happened, children are able to report to someone, which is a good thing and which is a plus to us. But that, for us, we are seeing to say at least our message is being heard. The children are taking the message, and it is good. Because if we are going to be in a situation where maybe a child has been molested and the child cannot speak out, then we are losing that child. You find that mental issues are going to come in. A child will start hating certain types of people. You find that the child will start behaving in a particular way. Maybe if the child can't even take it, you find that the child will take his or her own life. You get? So it is very, very cardinal, even in schools. This is not something that we should take lightly. This is something we need to focus on. We need to be talk about it over and over. Pick up the boys, talk to them. Let boys be boys. Pick up the girls, talk to the girls. Let girls be girls. It has to be like that.
Are you for the idea that children be given smartphones like before? Because I know that, my brother, when his kids were going to school, he grabbed all the phones. They remain. Like a child going to boarding school, they have to leave the phone behind. They don't go with a phone. And then if there's anything, they would communicate with the teachers, and then that's how it was. So I don't know for now, because it's like I've seen children without their smartphone, and they are saying it's a gadget they are using for research. Like they have to study, they have to do what. So is it advisable that a child who is maybe just in Form 1 or before they finish Form 5, they are having a smartphone? Would that be encouraged? What are you doing as teachers? Are you encouraging that children be exposed to smartphones for their studies?
Personally, I discourage it.
Okay.
Personally, I discourage a child having a phone. Personally, I discourage a child having a phone. Why? Because this time around, immoral things are just at the tips of the fingers. They at the tip of the finger, just at the tip of the finger. A child is being exposed to what they are not what they are not supposed to be exposed to. So, and one thing that I have learned is that using smartphones or exposing a child to phones, you see, there's something that I would say on the phones. You find that a child, a toddler, if this child is misbehaving, what, the mom will get the phone and give it to the child, and this child will be glued to that screen, and this child will even stop misbehaving, and the mother will go about her chores, do everything, and then by the time she's done, maybe that's when she'll get the phone. You know, for me, what I'm learning is that at that age, this child can't control him or herself. Okay, so by the time the child is growing, as the child is growing, the child will grow up with an addiction to the screens. And as the child is growing, this child is growing up detached from that emotional attachment with the mother. You understand, or with the environment around them, the people around them. They are becoming so detached from them because their world, I would say, is virtual. They are growing up in a virtual world, and in that virtual world, there are certain things that they'll be able to see. You find that maybe the mother will give the child to play a game, and in that game, maybe they are shooting pew 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 pew. This child in that world, they are able to see it's you kill pew 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 pew. It's normal. These are the children who are going to grow up without even thinking twice when they're told to kill a person. These are the children who are going to grow up without emotions because they will say, this is just like a game. So killing a person is just like a game. These are the small ones. This is what is being implanted in them. I've heard of a story of where a child, I think the child was in the early, if not 13, should be 12. Who, I don't know if he had to beat the mother or kill the mother over a phone. I've heard of such a story. Why? Because this child is more attached to the phone or to the gadget than to a fellow human being. You understand? So it is very, very important for parents to keep the screens away from the children as much as possible. Let them have the screens at the right time. And if they are to be on the screens, parents should be there to regulate.
But I say it's modernization. The more your child is able to use the phone, the better you are as a parent. You shine to your friends that your daughter or your boy is able to.
So not to cut you short, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in your age, where phones, how popular were phones?
There was only a land
phone.
Actually, if you needed a phone, you go to a booth by post office. There was a phone booth there.
That's where you're going to make a call.
Yeah.
Did you die?
No.
You are here. But these gadgets, the devil is clever.
Okay.
The devil, he has a plan. But if we are not going to understand what his plan is, then we are going to fall prey. We are going to fall in his trap. Listen, there are people, so a person like you, they cannot come and tell you to join that community whereby you start getting entangled with a fellow man. At your age, that cannot happen. No one can come and convince you in any way. But for these who are coming, their gadgets, these screens that they are being exposed to, you find that cartoons, a boy and a boy in the cartoon kiss, a girl and a girl in the cartoon kiss. What message is being sent to this child who's growing watching that cartoon?
It's the devil's agenda.
You see, so at the end of the day, you find that maybe 10, 15 years, 20 years from now, people are going to be attached to the same sex. We are going to have a lot of them. Why? Because it was something that was planted in them when they were growing up. It is something they've grown to see as a normal thing.
Mr. Kamfuli,
You see that,
yesterday
sir?
we were discussing raising up a child in a way that he should grow up. And so you've just highlighted one of these key things that need to be done, and especially the message the enemy is sending to our children is this is the right thing. Like, they are conforming, and then there was time one time I was watching cartoon. I just took interest to watch what my children were watching, and so I discover, like you are saying, there are kisses. Cartoons are kissing and whatnot, and it's easy for a child to continue watching that because they think it's a cartoon. But if it was a normal movie, a big people's movie, and then it comes to a point where the humans are about to kiss, the children will say, we can't look, Daddy, we can't see. They look away, okay? Because that is kissing. But so the makers of the propagators of the information have discovered that children can only be reached through that cartoon because they watch everything from first to last, and it's embedded in there.
Yes.
They can even put sex in there, and the children are seeing that.
Yes.
So then as they grow up, their mind is distorted,
Yes.
destroyed.
Yes.
So what should parents be doing in that regard, apart from just stopping them from using their mobile phones or smartphones? Is there any other measure that should be done?
So, for parents, they should not be too busy for their children. When it's time to have time with the children, parents should have time. If it means watching movies, there are a lot of Christian movies. There are a lot of Christian cartoons. So
that someone will say, I'm not a Christian.
Then you a person or an elderly person saying that I'm not a Christian,
Yes, I'm not a
then you
Christian,
don't love your
so
children.
my children can watch anything.
Then you don't love your children, because one day when they start bringing pain, when they start becoming menaces out there, it is you who's going to suffer emotionally. One day, like I was narrating, that there was a parent who was attacked by a child because they took away the phone from the child. You understand? Who suffered the consequences of their actions? It was the parent. I remember there was a story, I don't know if it is a true story or it was just a message that someone wanted to just pass. There's a story of a guy who was about to be executed because of the things that he had done. He had raped people, he had stolen from people, he had done all sorts of things. And then when he was about to be executed, he said, as you are doing this, my mother was supposed to be by my side. She was supposed to be executed as well. And then I asked why. Because when I stole a pencil from my friend at school, my mom did not rebuke me. But she encouraged me to say, okay, you can hide this one. You can be using it at home. Then you can take this other pencil so that you can go and use it at school. When I fought with my friend, my mom praised me. When I did this, my mom praised me. When I did this, my mom praised me. But after this person was now in this situation, who was he blaming? He was blaming the parent. So, and who was losing a child in that situation? Who was losing a child? It was the parent that was losing a child. So, if you don't take care of your children as they are young, because the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should grow, even so that when they grow up, that they will not depart from it. You've shown them the way. But if you've said to yourself to say, me, I'm not a Christian, I'll allow them to grow the way, you don't love your children. You don't whatsoever. You don't love your children. You don't care about your children, because there is no way I can have children and then say, however they'll grow up, they'll grow up. No. Then I don't care for the children. Then I'm not being a good parent.
You're not a good parent.
Yes, I'm not a good parent, because I should take interest in whatever my children are going through. I should take interest in what my children are watching, in what my children are being exposed to. I remember my grandfather used to tell me to say, in this world, the example he would give us was, he would take pebbles, stones, pile them up, and then would take two and put them aside and say, this is you and your friend. So this is your friend. make sure you have things in common. This person should build you, okay? This person should help you where you need help. This person should be morally upright for you to call this one as your friend. And then if this person it doesn't have these qualities that I've told you, you will pick that stone, put it back on that pile of stones, pick another one. That's what you do. So these are some of the things that we need to teach our children. You know, for me, it's easy to lose a friend. If a person is not leading me in the way that is supposed to lead me, it's easy for me to lose them. It is easy for me to say, go your way and I'll go my way. Because of what I was taught when I was very young. Because of what I had learned when I was very young. So it is very, very important. It is very cardinal for a parent to teach a child in a way that they should grow. So that as they are growing, they will not depart from it. They will walk in that path.
Exactly. So teach your child, because your child is your immediate neighbor. They came from you. They are your immediate neighbor. So you need to love them. If you love them, you won't show them wrong things, like Mr. Kamfuli has been saying here. You won't show them bad movies. You won't show them bad stuff. You won't expose them to things that will lead them into delinquency. So you are a parent that cares, and so loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamfuli, for making it to the show. We're glad that you came through. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
So, dear viewer, we'll take a break. On the other side, we look at Battle of the Choirs. Stay tuned.
In a world filled with noise, CBC is a voice of hope, truth, and transformation. We are a dynamic, purpose-driven broadcaster bringing you content that uplifts, inspires, and changes lives every single day. From youth to professionals, to families and undeserved communities. Our programming speaks to every heart, every home. And for brands with visions, we are the platform that puts your message where it matters the most. We are more than just a channel. We are a movement of faith, of purpose, of impact. Partner with CBC TV and let your brand stand for something greater. Purpose, integrity, lasting impact. CBC TV, inspiring transformation every day.
So won't you break free, won't you break?
This is Breaking Free.
I have to say, mental health was not my first choice.
Okay.
So this is my second career. I was very fortunate when I came out of school. I went into a career in marketing, advertising and sales.
Because I was a pastor and a businessman. So every time when I go for business dinners with my clients, some of them would say, no, just drink a little bit of wine.
Yeah. So again, if we are focused on areas that are negative, we are focused on our anxieties, it's going to perpetuate negativity. Remember that you have worth, you are worth it, and you are loved.
If you are a prostitute and you condemn yourself, you beat yourself down, go to church anyway. If you're a criminal, you're a robber, and you think what you're doing is not right, go to church anyway. If at any time you drink, you smoke, and you condemn yourself for that, go to church anyway, because church was meant for you and I, because we are both sinners. On Breaking Free, we hope that one day Zambia shall be sober.
So won't you break free, won't you break free?
Hello Zambia, are you ready for something big, something uplifting, something exciting, and something that will bring together the voices of God's people like never before? Well, CBC TV is proud to present to you the Battle of the Choirs Christian Edition, right here on Top Star Channel 121.
Yes, iwe isi competition chabe nkani yopemperesa mawa mulungu mkuimba, the platform to celebrate gospel music kubwinizana iwe and the incredible talent in our churches and communities across the nation. Erofuti chokondolesa imwe, the winning choir will walk away with a grand prize of 100,000 kwacha. Yes, iwe chizale muli iwe 1,000 grudas muli iwe chikwaya tibonja.
Our objectives are clear: to glorify God through song, to empower choirs with exposure and opportunities, to inspire Zambia with music that heals and transforms lives. Entries are now open. Registration fee is only 500 kwacha per choir.
Auditions will be held in different areas in Lusaka, and your choir could be the one to rise to the top. Crowned Zambia's best live on CBC TV.
So choirs, gather your voices, tune your hearts, and step into your moment. This is your time to shine, your time to minister, and your time to win.
For more information and registration details, contact us on the cell phone number 0974.
Welcome back to the CBC TV Breakfast Show. If you're just joining us, we are discussing the topic, loving your neighbor. And I'm joined by Pastor Shepherd in the studio, and we'll still be discussing the same topic before we look at the Battle of the Choirs. So, Pastor Shepherd, what's your take on this amazing topic?
Thank you so much, Pastor Joe. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Yeah, the scripture encourages us to love the neighbor even as we love ourselves. It's very much important for us to love our neighbor. Because if you don't love your neighbor, it means you don't love God. You can't claim to love God whom you have never seen, and you are neglecting your neighbor. So how it shows that you truly love God is through expressing your love by the people who are around you. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I love your take on it, because when we are looking at loving your neighbor, like we said, it's your next door neighbor, but also
Yes.
someone you don't know.
Yes. Yes, even someone you don't know. Your neighbor may not really be the person you see, or maybe the neighborhood you stay with at home. No, your neighbor can be anyone. Yes, even your neighbor can be your worst enemy, your nightmare enemy, the one who causes you to have nightmare. The Bible also says love them. So when the scripture says that we should love our neighbor, it means we should love everyone. So loving our neighbor, it's something which is important to us Christians, because it's something which we have to really show that we are different from other religion. Because other religion, when it comes to loving the neighbor, they will tell you, no, you have to persecute your enemy, you have to do this. But it's our mandate for us to love our neighbor, no matter how bad things they have done to us. Yes, even if they have criticized you, they have stoned you, they have lied against you, you still have to love them. Yes, it's a must, it's a mandatory. Yes, it's a must.
Yes. And what's your take on current attitudes, like especially say in a city like Lusaka? Yes, it's a big city, and you find we come from different areas, and it's a common trend, especially like we said earlier on, to say that people are always in a rush, and sometimes when you stop to greet someone, they're looking at you as if you're invading their space or their privacy. So what's your take on the current attitudes of people, especially in so-called high-class areas where they want to mind their own business?
Yeah, it happens a lot, especially here in Lusaka. Yes, where you try to greet someone, maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a friend, or maybe they are not able to recognize you, and you find that they won't respond back to you. Yes, so this happens a lot. On that one, it depends. If you are greeting someone, or maybe you are talking to someone, you are trying to engage in a conversation, and the person seems maybe to shine away from your conversation, if it happens maybe more than thrice, it's better maybe you stop talking to that person. It shows that that person maybe doesn't want to talk to you. Yes, it's wisdom to actually stop talking to that person, because if truly that person wants to talk to you, no matter how busy they are, everyone in this this world is busy. It's busy in one way and the other, but we still need time to talk to people, no matter how busy we are, no matter where you're learning to, maybe it's a business engagement, but still you can respond to someone. Such kind of attitude shouldn't be actually tolerated with people who are doing that. So it's better you just leave them, you just sit back and watch them. Yes,
and knowing that we actually come from a communal culture,
yes.
As Zambians by nature, we are communal people. We love to socialize, we love to greet each other.
Yes.
But now, unfortunately, we are having this trend of me, myself, and I don't care what you are going through. You just go on with your own business. I'll go on with my own business.
Yes, what you have said, it even happens in the home. Even right now in some houses here in Lusaka, it happens. You'll find that maybe even in the family setup, people, they wake up early in the morning, they won't even say hi, they won't even greet each other. The first thing they'll do, they'll pick up their phone, start watching TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and you find that it's so sad where we are going, that in the family, like what's happening now, there is no that companionship where people can actually share their thoughts, teach one another. You find that everyone is busy. You wake up in the morning, you go for work, you come back at home, you find again they'll be busy on their phone, chatting, busy on their phone, Googling, busy on their phone, browsing. There is no that much communication. So you find that in the family where people are actually growing up together, they don't really know each other. For example, maybe we are staying together in the same house. You'll find that some of my secrets you won't know, but we stay together. But someone who is far, maybe is even in England, knows what I'm planning to do next, because I'm able to share in a conversation. But with a person who is next to me, my neighbor, I'm not open to them. Yes. So it happens a lot in our modern world. That's what is happening.
And I like what you mentioned in terms of family, like you're from the same family but you're in your own world, because I feel gadgets have taken over. This one is with their phone, this one is watching the TV, this one is watching Netflix, this one is watching another streaming whatever, or a live concert maybe by Chris Brown, and that one is streaming, that one is doing other things. And so there's so much desensitization, and this living in our own worlds, I think that's what's also killing us today. And on top of that, in the wider society, even classes, I can't associate with that one.
Yes, it happens a lot, and it has really broken some home to some extent. Yes, we are not saying maybe technology is bad, that we shouldn't engage in it too much. No, we need it, but when it's family time, let's make sure that we have family time. We speak to one another. We get to know each other. It's very important to do that communion, because everyone has to know what's going on in your life. You can't just be, when you come back from home, you don't want to talk to anyone. You're busy browsing, busy talking on phone, busy chatting with a person even you don't know, you have never even met, but you're sharing your secret. But your brother, your family member whom you stay with in the house, you are not able to open up. Yes, so it's happening a lot. So people need really to love their neighbor, especially people who are close to them.
Yes. So like you rightly said, it actually starts with the home. It does start with the home. And I think before we go out there, let's also examine our lives in our own families. Do we talk to our fathers and mothers? Do we talk to our brothers and sisters? How often do we communicate? I think it starts within the home, first of all.
Yes, it really starts within the home. Yes, people need really to engage in a conversation, especially physical conversation. I remember a long time ago, our parents used to actually talk to us. Whenever we come, like we are in the house, it's at night, they will tell us stories. They will engage us in a conversation, and we used to learn a lot. Yes, so that thing needs to continue so that people can be taught, not just on phone learning things which they don't even know whether it's real. They're just busy browsing. So we still need that. Yes,
and I think it has also brought challenges with mental health, and I'm sure the viewers out there can agree that this is also this has also brought a challenge with mental health, because even in our own family setups, we are failing to communicate with one another because of so-called modernization, which is not bad in itself, but then we are caught up in our own worlds more often. That's why we are having problems with depression. We are having problems with all kinds of issues, having all kinds of issues, and mental health is becoming an issue even as we are discussing this topic. So yeah, we also need to look into that as well.
Yes, we definitely need to look into that. Yes, we definitely need to look into that.
And now over to the Battle of the Choir. So where are we now on this? I'm sure the viewers out there want to know.
Okay, the Battle of the Choir, we are still going on. Yes, and the people are still registering, and we are still calling more people to register, more choirs to come on board so that they may register for this competition. Yeah, so far we have more than 70 choirs who have actually registered. Yes, so we are still waiting for those people who are just sitting at home waiting for the Battle of the Choir to start. We have already started. We are showing every Saturday 14 hours. So we are encouraging all our viewers and all our community to actually register for this Battle of the Choir. This is going to be a nice competition, yes.
And then is there a word on the street? How are people taking this competition? Are people asking questions? What's the buzz on the street about this?
It's so high. People are so much expectant, yes. We have so much expectation. People, they can't wait to start actually voting for their best choirs. Yes, so yes, it will be really nice that when it starts, people will be voting in, yes, for their best choirs whom they want actually to win for this competition.
Yes, because the message I'm getting is that this competition is open, and I'm getting the vibe that it's going to be something really unique, something that Zambia has actually never seen, and I'm sure the viewers out there are looking forward to say, oh, Battle of the Choirs, let's see how unique it is, let's see how it will separate itself from other reality shows.
Yes, it's going to be unique in such a way that we are allowing all talents. Yes, we are allowing all vocalists, we are allowing all choirs. So maybe the notion that people may get when they hear choirs, maybe they may think it's just those traditional choirs, maybe from traditional churches. But when we say choirs, it includes the praise team, it includes the band, it includes the singing group, all types of category. People who are able to sing Christian music, they can come in for this competition so that they may battle for the 100,000 kwacha that we are giving away. Yes, for the top winner.
Yes. So is there buzz on social media as well?
Yes, actually it's their buzz, yes, on social media. So they can actually check on our CBC TV Zambia, and they will be more updated what's happening. Yes.
All right. Yeah, so you've heard it for yourself, our dear viewers. Please register. There has been an extension, and you can register so that you can be exposed, so that people can see your talent, so that people can see what you're all about, and the nation as a whole can be able to enjoy those wonderful melodies, those wonderful voices. So please register. Yeah. Any closing words?
Yes, maybe people might be asking, as we are very far from Lusaka, how can we register? Registration, we have made it so easy. They just have to send a 2-minute clip video to our WhatsApp number. Once they do that, and then we'll send them the registration form, which they have to fill in with the details provided. Then they can scan it and send it back to us, and also there is a registration fee attached to it. Once they make those payments, then we add them in the competition. Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah, so our dear viewers, you've heard for yourself. The process is simple. So you're just encouraged to register so that you can get exposure for your choir, so that you can make improvements even with your choir, and even maybe your vocal range. Who knows? Your vocal range can improve as a result of being part of this competition. So I encourage you, dear viewers, register. Thank you for your time, Pastor Shepherd. It's always a joy to have you on the breakfast show.
Thank you so much, Pastor Joe.
So our dear viewers, please stay tuned to the CBC TV Breakfast Show. We'll be right back.
Hello Zambia, are you ready for something big, something uplifting, something exciting, and something that will bring together the voices of God's people like never before? Well, CBC TV is proud to present to you the Battle of the Choirs Christian Edition, right here on Top Star Channel 121.
Yes, easy competition chabe nkani yopemperesa mawa mulungu mkuimba, the platform to celebrate gospel music kubwinizana iwe and the incredible talent in our churches and communities across the nation. Erofuti chokondolesa imwe, the winning choir will walk away with a grand prize of 100,000 kwacha. Yes, iwe. Chizale muliwe, Thousand Grudas muliwe. Chikwaya tibwanja.
Our objectives are clear: to glorify God through song, to empower choirs with exposure and opportunities, to inspire Zambia with music that heals and transforms lives. Entries are now open. Registration fee is only 500 kwacha per choir.
Auditions will be held in different areas in Lusaka, and your choir could be the one to rise to the top. Crowned Zambia's best live on CBC TV.
So choirs, gather your voices, tune your hearts, and step into your moment. This is your time to shine, your time to minister, and your time to win.
For more information and registration details, contact us on the cell phone number 0974578988 or visit us at plot number N4, Zambezi Road, Minwood, Ibex. Battle of the Choirs, Christian Edition. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord.
Let everything that has breath praise the Lord.
You're still watching the CBC Breakfast Show with me, Martin Lutuna. And on set now, we're joined by Madam Chansa Maimbo, the founder or spearhead of Thrive by Grace. She's here thriving all by grace. Isn't it, Madam Chansa? You're thriving. I see you thriving.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. And I mean, the background, we're talking about voting, and the government, the ECZ, Electoral Commission of Zambia, has extended the voter registration from the 13th of October to the 11th of November 2025. In that next year we'll be voting, and so they're requiring that a child who by come April 30th next year 2026, if they reach 18 years or just before that, they are turning 18 before 30th April next year, or on 30th April they'll be turning 18. They'll have to register to vote.
Okay.
So that's the kind of process that is there. Do you vote?
Well, to be honest, I don't.
Why don't you vote?
The queues.
Oh, you don't like the queues?
The queues are just too much.
Okay.
We have to wake up too early. I think there are so many locations where we could have voting going on, where it could just be a simple process.
So you'd rather we go by electronic voting, where
Yes.
we use machines?
Yes, I
instead
think that would be more appropriate for somebody to vote in the comfort of their home, because these days everything is digitalized.
Well, we've heard of interested parties, like people in government would say they want to introduce this electronic voting, whereas others are objected to that and say they shouldn't implement that. But what I'm getting from you is that it's the right way to go. It's good that we use machines.
Yes, I think it definitely is the right way to go, because it will encourage some of us who haven't been able to vote in the past, because I've heard of stampedes where people now get stepped on, and just having to see people line up before it's even morning. It's really dark and they're lining up waiting, literally sleeping outside just to have a chance to exercise their right. And for me, I just don't feel like it's right, because at least with the NRC office, there could be a queue, but at least it's not going to be as much as it usually is when it comes to voting. You could wait a number of hours, but at the end of the day, you're able to achieve your goal. But when it comes to voter registration, it's just scary, even from watching it from the television.
So would you rather that there was that electronic voting just be as an addition? Like, if you talk of RATSA, is it the post office or different other institutions that have decentralized. You know, like there are certain facilities that you don't have to get just in Lusaka.
Okay.
You can get that elsewhere, wherever you are. Even in terms of banking, I'm sure in the past you used to go for a queue
Yes,
in the
yes.
bank for you just to get a 50 kwacha
Yes.
from the bank. You needed to queue up. But then the banks came up with these teller machines. You're able to go to ATM, get your money, and then the mobile money services
Yes.
came in. So you don't have to go and wait in a queue. You use your phone to transact. You can
Yes.
send money from one bank to another. You can get money from this mobile subscriber to the other. So it has been eased.
Yes.
So can we say then that maybe ECZ, other than just focusing on people queuing up, it's an addition that they bring this electronic voting so that those that are able to vote on the machine, they do that. Others that want to queue up, they do that. Is that something that you'd encourage?
Yes, I think it would be a highly welcome addition. Yes, like I said, especially for some of us who prefer not to queue up in lines. And I think people are so busy with a lot of things, trying to make money here and there, and then having to like put aside an entire day, because that's basically what it means, almost putting aside an entire day just to exercise your right. But when it comes to an electronic thing, people are able to do it simultaneously. So while I'm voting, someone else can be doing it at the same time. So I think it's going to be a very welcome addition.
And Zambia is a developed country.
Yes.
We are developing.
Yes, we're getting there.
Yeah, okay. So it has to do with acceptance, because I think in the past, even when mobile transactions started, people were suspicious. Maybe if I use money on the phone, my account will be emptied. Like you're so scared. People were skeptical of that. So maybe that's the same thing that people are worried if there's electronic voting, they think maybe there'll be rigging or stuff like that. So that has to do with fear, isn't it?
Yes, I think, yes, the lack of knowledge usually is what makes us fear. We fear the change. But then look at how widely mobile transactions are being used now. It's very wide. So even when it comes to the voting, there can be skepticism of saying no, there'll be rigging and whatever. But even when it comes to our mobile money transactions, I think there are only a few cases where somebody can complain of maybe somebody being able to steal their money from their account and whatever. But these things are usually password protected and stuff like that. So if they can come up with a system where those voters are clear, I mean those votes rather are clear, because I'm sure the government knows the population that we have. So if somebody was to make fake votes, and when they look at the population that we have, it would be evident to say, oh, we have A, B, C, D in the country, and where are these other votes coming from? Because I'm sure they have all our information. The fact that we've gotten NRICs, maybe let's say somebody who is younger than 18 years old, yes, we can say that, but they still birth records. So even if somebody, let's say, for example, was to use their child's name to vote, it's evidence to see this child is still, a minor, so it's not possible for them to vote.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Talking about a good loving your neighbor, like what is your position? Who is your neighbor? Yeah.
I think in the context of the Bible, a neighbor is basically anyone. Yes, anyone that you come across. Basically, yes, even if you, I would say come across, because I think we're a lot of people in the world, so it's not possible to know each and every person and like have a conversation or an interaction. But I think everyone you come across.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult for people to love their neighbor in this time and age?
I think approach, usually we come from different places, different backgrounds, and then we're usually thinking of different things at different times. So let's say I meet you today and I'm having a lot of problems at home, and then sometimes it's like, in as much as I may not mean to wear a serious face or an upset face, maybe I come in with that energy because of maybe something that's on my mind. And then maybe you are coming in as a friendly face. It may be difficult for you to approach me. So maybe the way that I may come out, or you would approach me and say hi or being friendly and whatever. But then maybe I come out, in such a way that is so surprising to you. Like, oh, I only wanted to say hi. But then this person like starts shouting at me or something like that. So it can be difficult for you to understand, because the first thing that comes to your mind is not that I'm going through something and you should understand me. The first thing is like, why is this person rude? It's like, who raised them, you know? Why? What have they gone? You don't think about what have they gone through. It's just, oh, maybe this is how the person is. Yes. So I think that's what makes it hard, and not knowing the person as well.
Would you say modernization has contributed to that? Because in the past, Africa or Zambia, somebody's funeral is your funeral, somebody's child is your child, somebody's father is your father, mother, that's your mother. And even when you're on a bus, UBZ bus, that UBZ, not this one for today, the odd UBZ, if you were on that bus, you literally greet everyone in a row, like, how are you, Mulishani, Mulibwanji, and as you pass, as you make way to your seats, you are greeting the people around. Mulibwanji, until you get to the end. Nowadays it's different. Have we lost our culture?
I don't think I would say that modernization has really played like too much of a major role when it comes to that, because modernization has actually allowed us to be able to reach out to people even outside the country. So you find that people are able to be friends with people from even the Western world, even make business deals and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say modernization has played too much of a role in that. I think sometimes I'll give an example of women, because I'm one. There's certain women that, like, even if you wanted to greet them, like I said before, their facial expressions, like, so you're thinking to yourself, like, did I do something wrong before I even said something? So I think certain people are just not welcoming at all. So in as much as a culture, in the cultural sense, we used to like be able to greet each other that way and stuff like that. I think it spoke to maybe the upbringing of a person. So it's like, even if a person is showing like such attitudes, you don't really care much, because you feel it's your responsibility to just greet people. Yes, and maybe
is that one reason why we are closed up? Like you're saying, it has to do with what issues people are going through in their lives, or whatever mental thing that is happening to them. They close up, and the only thing we get is somebody has committed suicide, this person has done this, and you never thought that because people are closed up. Would you encourage that we are outgoing and talking to people, then we have a better society, or you would rather that each one for himself, God for us all?
I think the problem is that it's hard to tell who's going through something and who's actually naturally rude. There's just certain people who like, they're just I don't care types, and they are people who are actually going through it. And like I said in a previous interview, that there are certain people who've had times to like open up to people, but unfortunately it was the wrong people. And maybe they find themselves on social media, and even the days before social media, you just find like, if it's an anti-setup where like you start hearing to my whispers here and there, but you confided in one of them, and then now it's like a family arrangement where people are talking about you, and you're hoping to just get advice and hoping to have that confidentiality, but it's not there. So now this person is now carrying a burden and feeling like, even if I was to open up to someone, I'll just hear it like being spread around, and it's more embarrassing. You can imagine someone is going through something, and then now they hear it from someone else. So it's really difficult to say what the solution can be. Yes, because I think everyone just chooses to say, okay, they'll deal with their own things on their own.
Should we then force love, that you're loving your neighbor? You just have to love your neighbor, whether you like it or not. You love them, just be able to love. Can we force love?
No, love is patient, love is kind. So if you are a person who has the patience to love somebody, and you have all this negativity thrown at you, you can be patient and still show love to that person. I think that's all I can advise, not like forcing love, because it's not the military again now. You want to force someone to say, me, I love you whether I like it or not. No, it's
by force. You know, I've been at Unza Chapel, and the students there say, we love you by force and by purpose. We love you by force and by choice. Yes, we love you by force and by choice. That's the mantra that they have. Visiting, they'll tell you, we love you whether you like it or not. We love you by force and by choice.
Yeah, I think we love you is
choose to
enough.
love.
We love you is enough.
Okay, not by force.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, love is saying we love you is easy.
Yeah.
But understanding what comes with loving a person is the bigger part.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because saying things are easier than showing them.
Saying is easier said than
Yes.
done, like you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's well noted. Let's talk about thriving by grace. How
Okay.
have you thriven? From the last time we spoke, have you had people contact you about orders in Lusaka, about how do they get the designs from you? How do you deliver and whatnot? Have you had any businesses?
Okay, not yet,
Okay.
but there's been a bit of an increase in following.
Okay. On
Yes,
the
so I
page.
think
People are interested.
the more that content is put out there, the
Yeah.
more that people get to see, and the more
Correct.
interested they get.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you say you do again? Maybe someone is joining us for the first time. They don't know who Chansa is. King Maimbo. They don't know who King Maimbo is. What do they need to know about you?
Okay, so I think I'm building up quite a portfolio for myself. Currently, I'm a newscaster here at CBC TV.
Wow.
I'm a TV presenter.
Wow.
I've done a few gigs where I was an extra, like in Zuba, Tentamanga. So I do a bit of acting as well.
Wow. Yes, I watched you in Zuba.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, good character.
Okay. What else? I sew clothes. So I learned from YouTube basically how to sew clothes. So I'm able to sew clothes even without a sewing machine, just a needle and a thread. I make wigs. I braid hair. I'm still learning how to perfect doing nails and lashes.
That is manicure and pedicure.
Yes. And then when it comes to massages as well, someone advised me, my mom used to have these issues where she'd be fatigued a lot.
Wow.
And there was a time that I helped my aunt out. She had, I think, some numb nerves. Then she was saying you should actually open a massage parlor. So it's something that I think I would consider in the future.
Okay.
But usually what I do is if I'm not selling something that I've made, I even just order stuff like wax beans and resell them. So I constantly want to have something that's bringing me income.
Yeah, you're actually enterprising. That's what I
Yes.
like about you, that you're able to do this and that. You didn't talk about the 7 streams anyway, but it's something that you're doing, which is so encouraging, I think, to many a young girl out there or a lady that is complaining. You hear of ladies saying, "No, things are difficult," and they need someone, they need a sugar daddy or whatnot. And I mean, what would you say to such a one who says they can't do anything? There are no jobs, and the best they can do is to find a job for themselves, and that selling who they are. What would you encourage?
So I think I would say about the 7 streams, it's something that I am yet to establish. That's the reason why maybe I didn't say much about it. And the goal is to be able to do several things at the same time. So I'll give an example of one thing that I left out is I also help sell cars. So I have a mechanic friend who let me know, there's this car and sell. So I would help advertise it, which means I get a commission out of it. So that would be one stream of income. Basically trying to utilize people's presence in your life is the most important thing, because you get to understand, have ideas if you didn't have any ideas, which I would even give an idea right now. Me giving you this information is actually a way of getting money. There are people who sell information like this, you could become a career coach if you have all these ideas where you want to help people who maybe they're lost, they don't understand, okay, right now maybe I'm in my 20s, and throughout high school I haven't really decided what course I want to do. So basically you could be that person who advises to say, okay, you look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, and what is it that you think you would want to do. Because I'd always advise people to do things that they're passionate about, because once you do that, you never work a day in your life, because you enjoy what you're doing.
That's right.
So like I said before, you could resell cars, you could put cars on hire, you could partner with certain people, as long as you find the people that genuinely want to win with you, because that's the sad part these days. There are certain people who want to be on the top alone. Yes, but then if you have people who have surrounded you, who want you to see you win, you can come up with ideas where you sit down and talk about things like that. I'll give an example of an idea I once came up with, even though I didn't actualize it. We usually have things like bridal shower, baby shower. What if we had a shower that talks about like businesses where people come together and contribute money and say, okay, how can we help the people that are not in business right now with the money that has come up? How can we help them like get connected in the type of business that they have chosen? So really, even looking at YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, there's so much inspiration that somebody can go into. There's so many ideas that I haven't yet like explored. Yes, because there's also crocheting. Crocheting has become a really big thing. So I'm thinking about venturing in it, but sometimes I just don't get to have time. But there are so many ideas that I like to try and execute and see where my strengths and weaknesses are. And if I feel like I don't have the strength to do something like that, I would want to engage somebody who does, and maybe we can partner, and I'll still be earning something from that.
Correct. And by the way, you look different from your problems. At what stage do you beg? Have you ever asked for help, assistance? Do you even, is there a time when you're asking?
Yes, there have been times when I completely do not have, and I have asked for help. But one thing I've come to understand is that there have been statements like, nobody owes you anything. So, when you are asking for help, you're so expectant, thinking that this person will understand what you're going through. But at the end of the day, you are the person who's got you the most. You're the person who understands what you're going through. And the only person who can understand you the only person who can understand you is God. So in as much as you may open up to other people, but God sees your struggles, God sees what you're going through.
Have you ever had your heart broken?
I have.
Okay. What did you do to survive?
What did I do to survive? I think I needed to understand where the problem was in the first place, because I didn't expect what happens to happen. And so it was a struggle for me to move past it, because when you really see yourself with someone, you don't see yourself with someone else. So having to accept that was the biggest challenge. But I think in the end, I just told God, help me, because on my own I can't do it. I'll keep on going back and forth to something that's not good for me. But I mean, only God knows who I'm supposed to be with and who is supposed to be the best person for me. So sometimes we just really allow ourselves to be this have this magnet towards people that are not good for us. So I just chose to like ask God to be in between, so that magnet can just be taken away. So it's hard. And it's hard to advise someone in love. So you can hear advice from the left, right, but you don't want to listen. And possibly these people are telling you the truth because they can see from the outside. But at the end of the day, it takes grace.
That's right. It takes grace. It takes grace. So grace has helped you survive different. Last remarks as we go. What do you have to tell the viewers out there? Any encouraging words about loving their neighbor? What must they be doing?
Okay. I think, to be honest, being selfish profits no one, because at the end of the day, they say no man is an island. So if a person chooses to say, oh, for me, I can just do it on my own, I'll give an example of the entrepreneurship aspect. If you say you can just do it on your own, then who buys the things that you're selling? Therein lies the conundrum, because if you want to do it by yourself, you can't go and order and come and sell it to yourself. You need people. So you always have to have these interpersonal relationships. So no matter how much we may want to be selfish, we always need to put each other up, put each other forward. Because at the end of the day, you can't just be alone. You can't enjoy having life alone. You always need to want to go out with some friends, want to open up about certain things they're going through, want to celebrate the success with some people. So you always have to be open and honest enough to love your neighbor, like the Bible says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. So, and this is what we've been advised by our Creator, and it's just a normal thing, even in the life that we live in today, to need people to help us in so many ways. Because even if you were to have a wedding, you can't be the one to do the decor yourself. You can't be the one to officiate. You can't be the one to walk yourself down the aisle. So we need to have good relationships with our families and our friends.
Correct, yeah. There you have it, dear viewers. That was King Maimbo Chansa, who went to a private school. Me, I went to a Ofair. I went to a community school. So my English and chances are different. You're able to tell that you went to a private school. Thank you so much for coming through, Chansa. Dear viewers, we will take a break. On the other side, we have Pastor Joe and Madam Walusungu on set. Stay tuned.
Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity, empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams. It's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place.
Welcome back to the CBC TV Breakfast Show, and we're still looking at the topic, loving your neighbor as you love yourself. And right now on set, I'm joined by our lovely Walusungu, Madam Walusungu. So what is your take on loving your neighbor?
Yes, good morning. So my take on loving your neighbor, who's your neighbor? Your neighbor is anyone near you. Your neighbor is not someone you live next to, opposite to, but your neighbor is anyone near you. Your neighbor is your co-worker. Your neighbor is anyone. So you are my neighbor here. So loving your neighbor is important. Love is not love, I love you. But what do you do to show that you love your neighbor?
I love the emphasis on anyone close to you. Like you've mentioned, I'm just seated right here next to you. I love that. Anyone close to you, and even some stranger out there actually is your neighbor. Like we have been saying, your neighbor is someone across the street, even someone from another country actually can be your neighbor. So it just goes like to show concern for someone else, just to show that you also care about another human being. So are you able to share experiences like maybe even helping someone you actually didn't know?
Yes. So loving your neighbor is helping your neighbor. Loving your neighbor is talking to your neighbor in a proper way, in a formal, not really formal, but in a comfortable way. How do you talk to your neighbor? How do you treat your neighbor? Do you share with your neighbor? Are you able to help anyone randomly? In a scenario where you board a bus, you know how conductors behave over a 15 way. Then you have over a 500 kwacha in your pocket. Then the system we have, we usually mind our businesses. Like you be quiet. Then there's a fight, an argument over a 50 ngwe. So the process of getting the 50 ngwe and paying for your neighbor, that's love.
I love that. I love the aspect of helping the next person, because many times we think even just to maybe give an extra 50 ngwe or an extra 50 kwacha, sometimes we struggle with that because we think, I have already budgeted for this. But then sometimes you even have that conscience to say someone is in need, but then sometimes we choose to hold back and say, no, I'm going to think of my business first. I'm going to put myself first. I'm sure you've heard of that term. No, for once, let me put myself first. Even when you hear that, even when you feel that inner conviction, but you choose to ignore that other person and you don't want to help that person. And what would you say, like, to someone who has had those experiences before, where it's like you've even felt that conviction to help someone, but you just choose not to? You just think of your business first. How would you advise such a person?
Just do it. Just do it. If your instincts tell you to do it, then do it. Because you would be more guilty of not helping a person. You have the feeling of wanting to help the person. Then the person is not helped. I think the guilty might weigh more. So if you feel like helping people, if it's the Holy Spirit that is talking to you to help the person, just go ahead and help the person.
Exactly.
Without looking at the environment, who will say what, just help.
Yeah, I love that, because I've actually been guilty of such, to be totally honest, where I felt that conviction to help someone, like the Holy Spirit is saying, help that person, and then I decided to hold back. I decided to put my needs first, and I felt that guilt to say I could have helped someone, but I was selfish in that moment. I could have given that 50 kwacha, but then I chose not to. I even had extra. I could have managed to buy other things because I had extra, but I just couldn't spare that 50 kwacha because I thought it was meant for something that was important for me. So I've also been guilty of that before, and that also caused a lot of guilt on me, and I felt really bad after that experience. Have you also had such an experience, like where you knew you could have helped someone, but then you just chose not to help that person in need?
Yes, indeed. The work I do, especially when I'm in town, I do work with that guiltiness. Because in a scenario, those people who are blind, those beggars in the street, you really want to help them, but because of the rumors, so yeah, I do with a lot of experiences. Yes.
Oh, wow. So you've heard it, our dear viewers. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Just take some time to help your neighbor. Just take some time to help someone who is in need. Yes, there are people who take advantage of others. There are people who con others, but that doesn't mean we should hold back and suspect everyone of being a con man or a con woman, and then we say, no, I can't help. This will just also dent my reputation and I'll lose money. But take some time to think about your neighbor. Take some time to think about someone in need, because we are meant to be a solution to someone else's problem. I think loving your neighbor as yourself also means being a solution to someone else. It means giving a helping hand. It means solving that person's problem. So let's be our brothers and sisters keepers. Let's love our neighbor as we love ourselves. So thank you, Madam Walusungu, for your time. It's been a lovely interview.
You're welcome.
Yes,
And
yeah.
have a lovely day, our dear viewers.
Wonderful. So this is the CBC TV Breakfast Show. We'll be right back with sports analysis. Welcome back to the CBC TV Breakfast Show, and right now we're entering the sports analysis, and I'm joined here by Mr. Edward. So Mr. Edward, welcome.
Thank you very much. Nice to have me here.
Okay, wonderful. So what's happening in the sports world as of now?
Wow, everything is looking well. Like it's been a tough weekend. It's really been a tough and amazing weekend. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how you enjoyed your weekend in terms of football, but I'm telling you the truth. This weekend's games were amazing. Like looking at the Dynamos and Zesco.
Exactly.
These guys really played well. Yeah.
Yes, the 5-0 thrashing of Gabon FC 105. I think that was amazing. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was really amazing. I'm telling you, because Power Dynamos booked their place in the next round of the CAF Champions League. Only a penalty shootout really gave them a draw. It only took a penalty. Imagine,
wow.
Just so that they can separate the sides. You know, it started from 1-0 to 1-1. That was really amazing.
I think that was excellent. Yes.
Very.
From Power Dynamos and Todd, even Zesco shined at some point, right?
Yeah. And for Zesco United, they sent a strong message with the same 5-0. It was a victory. You know, that was I just saw the celebration. The guys were really excited. You know, looking forward to seeing another game. You know, I'm just really looking forward to see the next game. I can't wait to see those guys play again.
Exactly. And I think it keeps our hopes alive of Zambia, of course, one day bringing back like these big cups, like say the Africa Cup once again, and maybe even one day the World Cup. I think let's keep our hopes up, because we are seeing this from our clubs, and we could also see this even in our national team. What do you think?
Yeah. I can see that clubs are really doing well. Yeah, because we are now sending a strong message out there, like to Africa. Like our clubs can even do more, can do much better. Like we can even put ourselves on the map. It shows that we are working really hard in clubs. It's not just all these other things. We are doing very well, as in clubs. These clubs, I'm telling you, they can't let us down. Let's just keep on supporting them. Let's just keep on supporting them. Our boys are going to do better. I know it just takes a word, you know, a word of encouragement. Don't maybe like try to bring them down. No, you can't do it. You can't do that. No, they are really going to make it. You can see they are already putting us on the map.
Okay.
That is really amazing.
Yeah, wonderful. Aside from football, is there any other sporting activity of notice?
Yeah, there is. You know, as I said, it was it was an amazing weekend. We had our own Miracle, the MMA.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
mixed martial arts.
Wow.
Yeah. Our own Miracle was really she really took it back to back with Mexican Natalia Diaz. They entered the ring with all smiles and everything, stuff like that. But when they started throwing all those punches, oh, wow, it was really amazing. It just left the crowd cheering up. Even when although she was pulled out, she was backed off a bit in the second round, but she tried her level best to pull up in the third round, which was really amazing. Everyone was just clapping.
Oh, exactly.
That was really amazing.
Because mixed martial arts, sometimes I fail to get it, like you're punching and then at the same time you're doing Jet Li,
it's
Bruce
mixed.
Lee.
It's mixed. It's called mixed martial. So meaning like you can use anything apart from biting.
Of course.
You can't bite. Yes. So our own Miracle has got herself a bronze.
Wow.
Yeah, she's got herself a bronze, whereby we are looking forward to see her next fights. Maybe even her herself, she's saying, okay, now I'm now heading for silver, which is really amazing. I think we are really doing well when it comes to these sports, starting from football. Now it's mixed martial arts. I think we are just getting there. We are getting there. Africa, look out for this. I'm telling you, Zambia is coming hot. I'm telling you.
Yes. So indeed, our lovely viewers, indeed we can see Zambia is getting there. Indeed, the eagle on our flag is flying high. In terms of sports and even of course economically, we are getting there, and I'm really amazed that we are doing fine as a nation in terms of sports. Of course, more needs to be done, a lot more needs to be done. Of course, we can get right even with our sports infrastructure and even sensitization, like maybe from our high schools we can do it, like encouraging children with different sporting abilities, and we can really pull through in terms of sport. I believe we are getting there, and we can be a great sporting nation the way countries like the USA, South Africa, just to mention a few, are great sporting nations. I believe we can get there. So please, let's support our football clubs. Let's support different sports in this nation so that we can receive more medals as a nation and we can be proud of ourselves as a nation. So thank you for joining us, Mr. Edward. It's been a pleasure having you.
No, it's been a pleasure as well. Thank you for having me, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. So you are watching The Breakfast Show, and we'll be right back to conclude the show on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the CBC TV Breakfast Show. On today's show, we have been looking at loving your neighbor as yourself. You know, we live in a society where we meet different kinds of people. Of course, your neighbor can be your next door neighbor, someone who lives right next to you in the same community. But your neighbor is someone whom you meet anywhere, someone on the street, someone you don't know, someone from a different country. But this is someone you need to show concern for, someone you need to care for. And we've talked about issues of living in a closed society, like where now it's me, myself, and I, where you forget about the person next to you. And we were also looking at it from our own cultural experience as Zambians, because we are naturally communal people and we would always greet each other. But we are seeing a trend where we seem to be keeping to ourselves and not being expressive to our neighbors and showing kindness to them. But we are reminded to show kindness and grace to our neighbors. We are reminded to love other people and be concerned with other people. So you have been watching The Breakfast Show, and we hope you have had a lovely time watching this show, and we just hope that you put what we have discussed into practice, that you will love your neighbor and care for someone in need. Remember, sharing is caring, so let's care for our neighbor. So you have been watching the CBC TV Breakfast Show with me, George Sompola, and also my co-host, Martin Lutuna. Please have a blessed day, enjoy the day, and remember to love your neighbor as yourself. Thank you and have a blessed day.